What's up, guys? I'm Randy. Welcome back to the channel. We're back with another product review, and today we're going to take a look at the Cyelee Cat EDG, which stands for Enclosed Duty Grade. What does that mean? Well, that means that the emitter is fully enclosed, protected by the housing, 2 pane of glass, and it is nitrogen purge, making it fog proof, dust proof, waterproof, rain, mud, sand proof. So it's got you covered. And we are going to be testing that out, part of our torture test, but we'll get to that later. This is a 3 MOA dot that follows the RMSC 407, 507K footprints made for your subcompact, compact, and even full-size pistols. Now, during this video, if you like what you see and you want to pick one up, I'm going to have the link as well as a 10% discount code in the description box below. So go pick yourself up one. Now, let's go ahead and get into the specs. Now, this is the packaging that it comes in. It does come in a cardboard box that's well illustrated, as you can see. There's some descriptions on the sides. Right here, if you want, you could pause and read that, but we're gonna go over it anyway. Let's get this bad boy opened up. That's it. You have your regular cleaning cloth. You have a nice Cyelee patch here that you could put on your plate carrier, your bag, whatever. You have a little card here that shows you the results of moving it up and down in case you never zeroed the optic before. You have this nice little Cyelee sticker. You know we like our stickers in the two-way community. Put this on your safe or something. Another zeroing card that shows you the distance from 5, 10, and 25 yards. Now, they do suggest that you zero at 25 yards for the best results. You have another manual here that goes over everything. And then down to the good stuff. You have this flat Allen wrench here. I guess this is for your windage, elevation, and probably even to take out that battery tray. And then this multi-tool, and I tell you, this multi-tool really comes in handy. I really like this stuff. I actually got one of these inside of my range bag, and it comes in handy. There's a Torx head on one side and a flat head on the other side. And then it has this that makes it easy to turn. So your fingers are just not slipping off of an Allen key. Of course, you have the red dot on this side, which we'll get into in a little bit. But there she is. And then you have a whole assortment of screws. My God, they send you enough screws that will fit on just about whatever slide you plan on mounting this thing to. You got a whole assortment there and another pack right here. So they've got you pretty much covered. And then this is the optic itself. Look at this bad boy. Now I did go ahead and remove this earlier so I could load the battery because I was a little excited. I want to take a look at this thing. Let's take a look at that dot. Look at that dot. Let's just go over some of the specs right now. Now, it is constructed out of 70-75 grade aluminum. It has an IPX7 waterproof rating. The window itself is 0.9 by 0.63 of an inch. That is parallax free, which is quite large for an RMSC. That's usually what you get with an RMR, which is the footprint one size up. It has a shake awake feature that'll auto shut off after 5 minutes of no movement, and with slight motion, it'll come right back onto your previous setting. So if you had this on, let's say level 5, it'll come back on level 5. If you had it on 7, it'll come back on 7, which is pretty nice. Now it does have 10 brightness setting, with 8 being daytime and 2 being nighttime. It's powered by CR1620 battery, and is loaded into the side compartment here, which I prefer, so you don't need to re-zero this optic every time you need to replace the battery, which shouldn't even be that often since you get up to 50,000 runtime based on your brightness setting. Now, usually at this time, I like to get this thing mounted to a pistol, but before we do that, I want to go ahead and run this thing through its paces, do a little torture test, and see what it could withstand. And then we'll come back, mount it to a pistol, and see how it performs. Now, this baby's supposed to be fully enclosed, so mud and dust and all that stuff can't get in it. So let's put that to the test. Right here, we're going to put it in this container right here, as well as a whole lot of mud. Look at that. Look at that. There it is inside of there. And we're going to just pour on the mud. Yeah. Pour on that mud. Now it's sitting in a jar full of mud. Let's see. We're going to let it sit. And then we're going to put on our timer to start now. And then we'll come back in 20 minutes or so. All right, the time should be up now. So let's see. Yep, just over 20 minutes. Just over 20 minutes. Let's see how she did. Ugh. Brother, what's that? All right, toss that shit up in there. Oh, God, look at that. Look at that. Mmm. Oh, that mud got in there good. Oh, that mud got in there good. Well, let's see. That, yep, still as crisp as ever. Hard with the angle of this, but there you go. You see it? There goes that red dot right there. Now, even though we just washed this bad boy off, this is IPX7 rating. So now, even though we just washed this thing off, it's supposed to be IPX7 rating, fully submersible. Now, even though we washed this thing off, it's supposed to be IP7 rating. And even though we just washed this thing off, it's supposed to be IPX7 rating, fully submersible. So let's go put that to the test. All right, there goes the dot. Now this pool is 12 foot deep. We're not only going to try to soak this thing, we're going to try to drown it. Let's put that theory to the test and see how well this is fully submersible. Dot in the basket, well, in the net. And now we're going to go down, and go down, and go down, and keep going down. All right, so we're not going to put it all the way to the deepest end. We're going to go right here. That way I'll be able to come and grab this. All right. And let's start the timer now. Then we'll come back in 20 minutes. All right, it just went over 21 minutes. As you can see right there. Let me see. Yep, there we go. That dot is still on and still crisp. Let me see if you guys could pick that up. Let's go into the shade. I don't know if you guys could pick that up, but it is there. It's definitely there. It's kind of hard with the sun glaring down on the camera. Nothing to do with the dot. It's just the camera in the sun. All right, now that we took the camera out of the sun, you're supposed to be able to see that dot. And there it is. As you could notice, there's a little bit of condensation on that glass, but it's been in 12 foot of water for 20 minutes or so. So I'm thinking that's going to go away because it's already starting to seep away. So that's going to go away. But let's move on to the drop test. Now, they say this thing is drop safe at 6 feet on a 35-ounce pistol. I don't want to ruin my pistol, so we got a log right here that's about, this is a good sized log. This thing is about 3 pounds or so. Let's go ahead and drop safe it. See how drop safe it is. Oh, well, there goes that. Let's get this back in there. Let's do it again. And again. And just for good measures, one last time. Out of here, Coco. Come on, get. Whew. Yikes. Now, it did take a beating on the top, and it looked like it shook up some of that water. It shook up the water. It looked like water got in there from that pool test. As you can see right there, the condensation. But that dot is still there. That dot is still there, and it did take a beating. As you can see right here, got scratched up. The back got scratched up. The front right here on the top, and it did shake up a lot of water. But that dot is still there. Let's give it some time and see how long before that condensation and that water dries up, and then we'll take it for one last test. Now let's drop it in the freezer and see how it deals with freezing temperatures. Let's make sure this bad boy is on. Yeah, there she is. We'll put it right there. I don't know. We'll let it sit for about 20 minutes or so. Close that. Start. And we'll be right back. Okay, what is it? All right, just over 21 minutes. Let's stop that. Let's check her out. Oh, this thing is frosted. Damn, this thing is cold. That front is frosted. The back is frosted. But that dot is still crisp. Still working and still crisp. Now, let's see. It's still frosted. Which is to be expected. I mean, shit, it was in a freezer for 21 minutes. But it is clearing up. It is clearing up already. Let's close that. Let's see. It is clearing up. Let's go get this bad boy mounted to a pistol and take it on out to the range to see how well it's going to perform. So in front of me is my SIG P365X macro, and that's what I want to mount this optic to. I got everything already set up. I got my Loctite. I got the screws already figured out, and I have my Torx wrench. So let's just take this off. All right, we're going to mount this bad boy right there like that. I already have Loctite on this, but we're just gonna put another little drip on there, get that inside, put another little dab on this one and get that inside. Close this up. Now in the booklet right here, it tells you, and they recommend, make sure the screws are tightened to 15 pound-inch and secured with 242 Loctite before firing. So luckily, that's what I use. I use 242 Loctite, and I got this bad boy set up already at 15 pound-inch. So let's just go ahead and send this home. Now what I like to do is get one going almost all the way down, but not fully home yet. Then come back and go to the other one, get that going almost all the way home, but not yet. And then tighten up the first one until you get that. Then come back to this. There you go. And there you go. So the only thing left to do is to take this bad boy out and send some rounds downrange to see how well it performs, if it holds zero, and how did it function after that torture test. So let's head on down to the range. So this is at the outdoor range. It was a beautiful day. I just went to have some fun. I didn't even zero this thing in. The groupings was fine, so I just let it rock out. I've decided I'll just zero it when I get to the indoor range. It's a little bit more calm and easy to get on focus there. But the groupings was good. At the end of this, I'm going to show you all the groupings on the paper target, and then we're going to move on to some steel target. Now, this is my groupings at 20 yards. I'm happy with that. Like I said, I didn't even zero anything in. So now let's move on over to some steel targets. I'm going to show you my point of view. And mind you, bear with me. This is not my best work, but it's extremely, extremely hard to focus the camera on the red dot while trying to shoot. Your hands folded around the tripod and the camera. So I did pretty all right. I'm happy with those results. Now, this is another day. I took it to the indoor range. I shot about 220 rounds that day from this gun. So altogether, I don't know, I got over 500 rounds through this gun with this optic on it, and it performs well. First, I was just having some fun with it, doing some reloads, just playing around with it. Then I started to dial it in, zero it, and at the end, I'm going to show you the end results with it zeroed in at 5 yards, 10 yards, and then we'll come back for some final thoughts.
Take the time and just, relax a little bit and just try to, like I said, hit the wall and then squeeze after that. Light touch.
So there you have it. That's my range report. I took this thing to the indoor range. I took this thing to the outdoor range. I've got over 500 rounds through this. It was not a problem. It's not a problem finding that nice crisp dot in this big window. Target acquisition was fine. I'm a happy camper, man. Let's be honest. This thing right here is not going to win prettiest optic of the year award. But listen, if you want something reliable, something that's rugged and durable, this is a very, very good option. I'm a happy camper. You guys seen the torture test. I put this thing to hell and it kept on ticking. I have no issues with that. Listen, man, this right here, this optic right here is a $700 optic. $700 I paid for this thing. Don't believe me? Look at it right here. $649.99 plus tax and all that stuff. It was $700 for that. And I wouldn't put that, I'm pretty sure I'll put money on it. That thing right there cannot withstand half of what this little optic went through. So listen, man, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think this thing is worth it? Would you pick one up? I'm happy. If you are interested, don't forget I got that 10% coupon discount code in the description box, as well as the direct link to the Amazon store, so you can pick one of these up. If you got any questions, feel free to ask me. Until next time, y'all stay blessed, stay safe, or be dangerous. Peace out.